Good morning, sir.
Sir, YouTube live first கொடுத்துட்டு அப்புறம் record.
So you can start the meeting, no problem.
Yes, sir. We shall start, sir. Okay, sir. Mohana Krishnan.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, we shall start.
A pleasant morning to everyone. It's my pleasure to extend a cheerful welcome to you all. Your presence makes us very happy. I am S. Mohana Krishnan of First Year EEE Department. We all are gathered here for the inaugural function of the 1-month online course on basic 3D animation using Blender. The best preparation for tomorrow is doing your best today. First and foremost, I would like to appreciate each and every one of you for choosing this platform to enrich your knowledge. I haven't seen such quality work in a long time. Great job. Let's begin this session with invocation. I would like to welcome L. Priyadarshini of First Year EEE Department to sing Tamil Thai Valthu.
நீராரும் கடலொடுத்த நிலமடந்த கெழிலொழுகும் சீராரும் வதனமென திகழ் பரத கண்டமிது தெக்கனமும் நதி சிறந்த திராவிடன திருநாடும் தக்க சிறு பிறையுதலும் தரித்தனரும் கிழகமுமே அத்திடக வாசனை போல் அனைத்துலகும் இன்பமுற எத்திசையும் புகழ் மணக்க இருண்ட பெரும் தமிழனங்கே தமிழனங்கே உன் சீரிலமை திரும்பியந்த செயல் மறந்த வாழ்த்ததுமே வாழ்த்ததுமே வாழ்த்ததுமே.
Thank you, Priyadarshini. Extend your arms in welcome to the future. The best is yet to come. Here comes B. Sushintika of First Year CSE Department to welcome the gathering.
A very good morning to one and all present here. It is my great pleasure to welcome you all for this program, Basic 3D Animation using Blender, organized by our Science and Humanities Department. I feel really grateful in welcoming our Chief Guest, Dr. KAPIL, Educational Consultant, IIT Bombay. Next, I would like to welcome our Director, Inaguration, sir, and I would like to welcome our Principal, Dr. KADAM, sir, and I would like to welcome the Head of our Science and Humanities Department, Dr. M.A. Neelakandan, sir. Let me also welcome all the coordinators and the faculty members who have motivated every one of us in our active participation. Last but not least, I would like to welcome all my friends and school students all over the nation. Once again, with a great enthusiasm and eternal happiness, I welcome you all for this momentous event. And I thank everyone for giving me such a wonderful opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you, Sushintika. Now I request our Honorable Principal, Dr. K. Kalidasa Murugavel, sir, to address the gathering.
So respected Dr. KADAM, EdTech Consultant, IIT Bombay, IIT, course instructor. So good morning, sir.
Very good morning. Very good morning, Professor.
Good morning, sir. How are you, sir?
I'm really good. I hope you're also fine and everyone is doing good, including the students.
Thank you. Dr. Neelakandan, Professor Thamba, and other staff member that is involved themselves in organizing this program, and also the student organizers and the student friends from the different schools who registered for participating in this program. Good morning to all. And I welcome everyone for this program, that is inauguration of this 1-month training program on 3D animation. So actually I came to know that is it's also it's a pleasure. That is more than 100 participants from various schools all over India, mostly from Tamil Nadu, but also from other states also registered for this program. Actually, we thought that around it maybe 300, maximum 500 it will go. But actually, it is a surprise for us. more than 1,000 participants. Actually, it is reaches the 1,200 participants registered from. That is mostly from Tamil Nadu, but all over India. So it is it is interesting to note that actually the emerging technology reaches the all level of students, and the students are very interested to learn the new technology and adapt it to the modern the latest development. So that is a very interesting. That is surprising news or interesting news, and also. That is the 3D animation. Actually, the students are interested in the 3D animation. Actually, one of the reasons is actually the familiar application they know about 3D animation is actually the entertainment. So that is why the students are very interested in knowing the 3D animation. So okay, it is good. Actually, the 3D animation is useful for entertaining and creating their own videos or animations or short stories like that to demonstrate that skill. It will be useful. But not only there is no limitation for the usage of 3D animation. It will be used for actually every student, the younger students may have the innovative and the creative ideas, and it is applicable to any field. So the 3D animation is the best tool to demonstrate their ideas and showcase their idea and disseminate their idea to others. So actually, the students are actually hesitant to expose their innovations or creative idea. So that they cannot explain their idea in words. So it is the best tool. Actually, if you know what is the 3D animation, they can demonstrate the innovation and they can communicate. They can showcase their ideas and creativity to others, and that they get the credit for the idea what they have, so that they can move on further. So that is a thing we can do, and also. The 3D animation is not only having the application in the entertainment area. It's actually it is a limitless application. It is applicable. It's saying application all area. That is science, engineering, technology, even agriculture, management. In any field, it will be useful to demonstrate the new idea and come out of the prototyping. So that they will get the recognition and the funding for future idea. They may get the employability chance, or even they can pay techno grants. So like that, it's saving varieties of application. So the student has to need to understand what are the things we can do after studying the 3D animation. So I wish all the students will learn the 3D animation and become master and demonstrate their creativity and ideas and become. They may be a feature entrepreneur or feature technocrat or feature in their successful professional life. So I wish all the best for all the students, and I wish all the organizer for a successful program to complete the program successfully. Thank you for the opportunity. Thank you to all.
Thank you, sir. To be inspired is great, but to be an inspiration is an honor. It's time to address the chief guest. Now I request D. Jennifer of first year ECE department to introduce the chief guest.
Good morning, one and all gathered here. Now I am going to introduce our honorable chief guest, Dr. KADAM, educational consultant, IIT Bombay. He is a researcher in the area of educational technology. He completed PhD in educational technology from IIT Bombay. Currently, he is working as an education consultant. The consultancy that he provides includes content design and evaluation, e-learning content design, curriculum design and evaluation, pedagogy design for training courses, etc. He has offered MOOC course on IIT Bombay X platform about fundamentals of 3D visualizations. His current research and practice interests include educational technology, e-learning, STEM education, etc. He is a blended enthusiast and has conducted several blended training workshops for students and teachers across India. Thank you.
Thank you, Jennifer. Without any delay, I would like to hand over the session to our chief guest, Dr. KADAM, sir.
Thank you so much, Mohan, and thank you so much for the warm introduction, Jennifer. I really appreciate the kind of effort that has been, and I would like to appreciate Professor Thamba for continuously working upon executing this event. And I really welcome all the dignitaries, including Professor Arunachalam, and then Professor Director Shanamogwell, then Professor Murubagel. And so I'm really excited to discuss and give you my perspective, as well as to interact with you basically during the course. Today it's being just inauguration session. I would like to take you through some small interactive presentation where I would like to tell you about what this course is going to be about. So I might ask you a couple of questions during this interaction, and you can, those who are participated in Google Meet, they can use chat box to respond, and those who are watching online on YouTube, they can use the YouTube channel for responding, right? So, Professor Tamba, can I start with the presentation? Okay, okay. So I will share my screen. So can you see my screen?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir, it is visible, sir.
Okay, thank you. So I welcome everyone for this session. So the course will be about basics of 3D modeling and 3D animation using Blender 3D tool. And I will just walk you through for next 10-15 minutes about what are nothing but a glimpse of the course, as well as some basic concepts. So let us start with I have a question for you. Do you watch movies? So if you watch movies, just simply say yes or no.
Yes.
Okay, I could see a lot of responses popping up. So can you name some of the animations movies you have seen before? So you can use chat box as well as, okay, Godzilla, Harry Potter, Big Hero 6, Spice and Discuss, The Lion King. Let me check how many of you are responding. Avengers, a lot. Transformers, Ice Age, Endgame. Excellent. I could see more of it. Toy Story, Coco, Spy Kids. So it's really interesting to know that all of you have some exposure to watching animation movies. Now I have a next question for you. Okay. But before asking that question, I would like to play some videos where I'll be showing you a small clips of a few seconds or a minute. And I would request, okay, first let me play this. The first one is Iris movie. I have just taken it from YouTube.
It's 10:30.
second one I will play one of the famous movie, the
Offense was not. There is a place that knows is a happy thing, a place inhabited by little blue beavers. Our boys left to fly! Oh yeah, so excited!
So yes, these were the three movies, and third one I would be playing one of the scenes from Avengers. Okay, and the next one is from Avatar.
It's already pissed off. Jake, that armor's too thin. Trust me. It's a territorial threat. Do not run. What do I do, guys? You keep running? Why don't you bring back some of your friends, huh? What about this one? Run? Don't run, what? Run!
Okay, the last one is a very classic example that all of us have been watching. Just give me a moment. So I won't be playing that part now because it's a very well-known cartoon that we have seen. Now we have seen some clips. Now the question is not about whether we have watched it or not. So I want all of you to just think for a few seconds and tell me which of these are animations. Okay. You could have known a lot of concepts about animation, VFX, movies. So what you can do is mute. Someone is speaking. Hello.
Ganga Sasi, please mute.
Thank you, Professor. So I can see that people are responding in here, but I really want you to respond in a go to menti.com and use this code to give your responses. I'll just paste this in the chat box so that you can simply follow the link. I could see a lot of responses, A and C. Rather go to menti.com, that's www.menti.com, and you just enter the code 3226570. I have pasted it. I can also put it in the YouTube channel, YouTube Live, from where people can access. Okay. Go to menti.com and use this code. Yeah. Okay. So here everybody will be able to see what others think about these options. So the thing that I want you to think about is, so look at the variations in the responses, right? So there are different movies that you must have seen, different cartoons you must have watched, different animations you must have seen. Now, just think about whichever option you have selected, why that particular movie has animation or is an animation, and why the other one is not. Definitely, I'm not gonna give you the correct answer or something like that, but I want you to think about it. Just wait for some more time to, let others respond.
Sir, others are VFX.
Hello?
Sir, others are VFX, sir. These three alone.
Yeah, sure. No issues. So I just want students to, get through this particular process so that they'll understand it. Yeah. Students are saying CGI and VFX collaboration, Mickey Mouse is tuned, 3D design is different from VFX. It's all CGI and VFX collaboration. More of Mickey Mouse are animated. Excellent. Avatar is good movie. Okay. Narnia is animation. Narnia, Smurf. Okay. So I will wait for more 30 seconds and then I'll continue. And you can also respond later on, no issues. So the whole point in having this exercise, so if you look at maximum percentage of audiences saying that Mickey Mouse, Smurfs, and IDs is an animation movie, right? whereas less I mean almost 50% of the other part are saying Chronicles of Narnia, Avengers, and Avatar is also animation. Now I'm not going to elaborate on these parts during this interaction. Rather, we will be discussing much about this while we will be having the course running, when we will be having interaction in the course. Okay, but just to briefly discuss on this part, like you could see, many of you have already mentioned certain concepts like VFX, animation, CGI VFX collaboration, 3D design, right? So these are the real things that we really need to differentiate between animation and VFX. Okay, so you can stop responding, and what I can do is I can move ahead with another part of this thing. Okay, so now that you are trying to differentiate between VFX, animation, and other concepts, why don't you just tell me what is animation according to you? So again, don't jump into responding in the chat box. Rather, I have a quick interface for you called a Padlet. I will share the link and I will show you how you can participate in that. Okay. So here is a link for the Padlet. If you click on the link, you'll be able to see this Padlet. Okay, I hope everybody is able to view this Padlet. Here, if you're using laptop or mobile phone, any doesn't matter. You can use your browser. You don't need to log in. Just simply click on the plus sign, and you can see a post that will appear. So you have to write your definition of animations, or what do you understand by the animation. It could be a statement, it could be 3-4 sentences, anything that you know about it. So that's what we have to do. So here you can write. So you can create your independent post. Now everybody can see the people are responding. If you can double tap on the screen, then also you'll be able to write onto it. So whenever you click, your post will appear at the first. Okay, so take some time, think about it, and tell me what is animation according to you. If there is an issue with accessing the link, just let me know. The interesting part is, okay, no copy and paste. I can see some of you have already copied and pasted. This is not recommended. So those who have finished, you can just quickly try to go through others' definitions also. You might find some similarities between your definition of animation and their definition of animation. It could be exactly same, or it could have an additional information or something that you might not have thought of. Okay? So I can just go on quickly randomly picking up these definitions. Animation is method of making films and computer games. It's an imaginary world. It's making your creativity come real. It's a cartoon. It's a video making, own creation. It's a method in which figures are manipulated as moving images. So some of you are saying giving life to our imagination. Somebody's saying animation is images in moving. It's a process of 2D and 3D images, creating virtual objects. Animations are not real. So look at the way everyone is trying to express their understanding about the animation. Now this is really important aspect and part when any of us tries to learn about 3D animation or any animation. Okay, because everybody must be having different conceptions. So here you can see, okay, colorful enjoyment and new thoughts, the method of making films and games. It's a graphic work. Somebody's saying that I use animation for purpose that to create. Okay. So I will wait for a few more seconds, or maybe 30 seconds like we did earlier, and then I can move ahead. Okay. So those who are yet to respond, or let us wait for a minute. Okay, so I would request everyone to stop posting now. You can do the posting later on. Still some responses are coming up. Okay, you can finish it off. Yes, you can stop responding to this. We will come back to this particular part. Now, tell me, have you? So we talked about different animation movies. Have you heard of this movie called Big Bug Bunny? Have you seen or have you heard of it? You can respond in the chat box. Okay, saying no. Some responses are saying no. No, 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 no. Okay. Some of you have said seen it. Okay. Okay. Let me check on YouTube chat. Mhm. Okay, most of you are saying you haven't seen it. So it's a very short movie, and it was developed using Blender itself. Okay, can we watch that movie for now? Can we just, if you would like to watch it, just respond with yes. Okay, great. So now I want you to understand that before this workshop, whatever conception you had about animation and whether you wanted to develop animation, so watch this movie carefully from a different perspective, not just as an audience or not just as a kid or a person for enjoyment, but try to observe the movie as well as try to enjoy also. Okay, so what I'll do is I will play the movie and I'll share with you. So those who have watched it can still enjoy. Okay, those who have not watched it, you are also welcome to enjoy the movie. Okay, so that's what the Big Bug Bunny movie was for you. Now, so definitely those who have watched it must have enjoyed it one more time. So the idea that I have showed you this movie is to make you understand the entire movie was made in Blender. Okay, this was made in Blender. So let us try to look at some of the screenshots that are really fascinating, and the renders or the outputs that have been used developed in Blender. So you could see the grass, then there are trees, the pink sky, the bird, the home for the big bug bunny, that is the rabbit, and that is how the entry of the rabbit. Then in one of the scene, he is playing with the butterfly, and then you could see that there are some nasty animals or the squirrels who are trying to, play with this butterfly or trying to kill the butterflies. Here you could see that. Then in one of the ending scenarios, you can see the rabbit is trying to take a revenge of those squirrels for killing those butterflies. And then these are some climax scenes. Okay, the important point I'm trying to make is here the entire thing was developed in a Blender. So can you tell me what is the process of making animated movies? So now you just have to respond in the chat box on YouTube channel or in Meet chat. So quickly share if you know the process of making animated movies. So let me see what people have to say. Okay, so just try to respond in the chat box. Should make slide by slide details and running in 16 frames per second. Okay, some of you are not aware of it. Developing characters. Okay, somebody simply pasting, brief, scripting, style, voiceover, animation, video, audio mix. Okay, that's a good attempt. Some of you are saying no, still saying no. Okay, not an issue. It takes more time. No idea, sir. Okay. Research, concept script, storyboarding, storytelling, voiceover, animation, sound effects. Yeah, these are some of the important points. Then some are saying computer graphics, developing character, developing background. Any engine like Unreal or Unity. Okay, somebody's talking about the team engines. Arrangement of each frame and slide, modeling, texturing, rigging, rendering, character blending, motion tracking. So we are getting to know a lot of terms and terminologies about the animation related process. Okay, some are simply sharing it from, okay, figure out what story you want to tell, characters, storyboard, animatics, background layout. Great. Create a story, write down characters, develop characters, animate with correct camera angle, creating story. So just try to look at this important aspect of it. So most of you are talking about stories or creating characters. Animation. Okay, somebody's talking about the process. Fine. Idea, modeling, texturing, animation, render. Okay. The 2D animation is a technique of creating illusion. Okay, so yeah, I think some of you have have a really good idea about it. Some of you are new to it. So let us not spend more time onto it. Rather, I would try to discuss about it. Instead of simply going ahead with me telling you the entire process of animation development, um, just give me a moment. I would like to kind of in 1 or 2 minutes would like to discuss about how this Big Bug Bunny movie was made. Okay, so I have again a short video of 2-3 minutes, and I will explain you with that video. Okay, so basically, like I said, this all movie was made in Blender. So let me just share it with you. So whatever movie you just now watched was made using Blender. So let us start with this. If you could see, this is saying computer animated movie. Okay, so we will also try to discuss these things during the workshop. Okay. So the tool used is Blender. Okay, like some of you have already mentioned how the movies can be made. You could simply see that it's a art of making movies. You have idea, you have story, you have storyboard, you have characters, you have environment, you have animatic, you have animation, lighting, composition, and so on. So if you look at this particular movie, it starts with some plot or the idea. It's all about, this is more of a rabbit's revenge. So you can see the simply plot outline where you have seen some squirrels or rodents are trying to kill the butterflies. They were trying not to be good with those. So at some point of time, rabbit comes across them, and then eventually he tries to get the revenge. So all stories can get influenced by some other stories or real life events or books, or like most of you have said, your imaginations. So like in the same way, this movie was also inspired by some of the earlier movies. Then comes the detailed story and the script part of it, where you can define each of the act, whether it's the introduction of the rabbit, how he should appear on the screen, or if he's preparing the traps for those squirrels, or sequences of scenes where he's taking revenge. So these are the details really important when you try to talk about the story. So here you can see the storyboard. The storyboard is nothing but the initial drawings, sketches, where you can have a sequential drawings, and you can define initial outline of your story. These are the rough drawings, and most of you have like said these are drawn in a sequence, the sketches. So you could simply see that there are different scenes and actions, and then whichever you want to keep, you can keep it. Then there's a character design. You need to design each and every character of your proposed movie. You have to design different expressions of that character. It's not just one expression. So here you have to pre-design it. And once you have those characters, then you can simply create a 3D model of those characters. Okay, that can be called as a character design. So this is another character called Gamera. This is textures that you can see. This is a 3D model. So after the characters, then we have the surroundings. We have different objects in the background, right? Or the objects that the characters will be interacting with. So here it's mostly of the trees, fruits, and these scenic props of the environment that needs to be developed. So these are also need to be modeled independently. So now that we have initial storyboard concept, the storyline, the idea, who will be the hero, who will be the villain, something like that, then comes in picture is a term called a animatic, where you have to play the storyboard in time. So let us watch it. So these are the rough sketches, rough drawings played one after another, like most of you have said. So which gives you the effect of moving objects, like feels like animation. Okay, but this is just to test how the story will look like. Okay. So these are simply nothing but rough drawings. Now after that, animatic, it comes as an animation. So this is entirely inside your tool's 3D environment, where you can simply try and play back the animation before the render. Okay. Now this is the final shot where you have added lighting, you have added sound. So now you can simply, try to distinguish between the entire process. So you start with a concept and idea, then create script, and then have rough drawings for storyboarding, then going for the animatics to test whether it really looks good, and then finally you try to render it. Okay, so that's how the animated movies are made, and this was specific to the Big Bug Bunny. So I'm not going to tell you the entire story of the Big Bug Bunny. You can always Google and check. I will share the links during our course so that we can have some more interaction about that. Okay, so this was just to give you brief about how the animation movies are made. Already we have seen some steps of this animation. Okay, so you can call it as an animation development process or the art of making animation movie. So already we have talked about idea and plot. It's mainly all about storytelling. What idea do you have, and how can you create a story based on that idea? So always remember, it is not necessary that you will be able to create a good story in the initial shot or initial thought. Okay, so anyone who is good at storytelling, he should write about the story. Okay, not everybody is required to think about the story, but anybody can have an idea and plot. Always try to watch some good movies and try to get inspired from those movies. Okay, then comes the detailed story of your idea, where you can, the script part is nothing but defining each and every actions and each and every events, so that you can break it out in different events. Then what are my characters? Okay, what they are going to do? Okay, so you have to define each and every part of it. Then once you have a good idea about all these things, we can go on developing a storyboard. For here we need good artists who can have rough drawings. just to put your idea in the sequential manner so that we can verify how it is going to look before the development. Okay. Then based on that storyline and storyboard, we can go on designing the characters. So basically, you can, we need to create sketches. Then after the sketches, based on that, you need to create 3D models. And important part is if it is character animation, you need to have different expressions for the character. So this is a pre-processing part. And like I already mentioned you, we need to create the environment, that is other objects in the scene. Okay. So all this perspective I'm talking about, if we are going to develop it, we are not going to import or something like that at this moment, what I'm trying to talk. The animatic is more of, most of you have said the animation is giving life to non-living objects. So this is giving life to the CG character, the computer graphics, computer generated character. Okay, like what we have seen a 3D model. Then finally, you can add light, sound, composition, okay? And you can do the editing and the movie can be made. So these are steps, but are not limited, okay? We can have more detailed analysis of these steps over the period of time during this, during our 1 month course, okay? So here you can see that almost we have tried to divide it into 8 steps. And you can think of each steps as a pre-production, the initial part where you have not yet started development. Then the middle part you can call the production, and then the post-production part. So these are the really important terminologies if you are trying to get into the industry of animation development. Okay. So now that we have, we started with what is animation? Have you seen animation? There is, we watched a couple of movies, then we watched how the making of animation was done. Let me try to revise your definition. So now I really want to go back and look at your definitions. I'll spend a few seconds to think and talk about it. So let me see how and what everyone has to say. Animation is used to create models, essential for research study, allows you to create 3D realistic model. Fair enough. Cinema industry is growing. Okay, there are some additional information is been given. Animation is the imaginary movie. Okay, it's a way of combining 2D and 3D frames together. Great. It's imagination of our ideas. It's something where our imagined ideas come like cartoon beings. Make a world with our dream. Real to making creativity. Okay, non-reality videos. It's using imagination to make cartoons. Transformation of digital objects by frame to frame. Something that helps us visualize stuff, giving life to imagination. It's a cartoon. It's our own creation using computer. Great. So, you take some time to go through all this definition whenever it's possible for you during the course, because it's really important to understand the different perspective and how everybody is relating to their definition. Okay, so somebody who has watched Mickey Mouse and cartoon will always think that this is what the animation. Somebody who has watched Avengers or Avatar, he will think about that, right? So, but those, so just to conclude about the animation, I can give you a simplistic definition of animation. In its the most basic form, okay, it's a change over time. So something changes over the period of time. You call it as a frame, you call it as an image, you call it as a movement, anything. So for every second, if something is changing, so after a certain amount of time, the entire process can be seen as an animation. Okay, in a basic form. And that can, this change could be a transformation of some time. Could you please switch off your audio? Can you mute? Someone is. Okay. Now, many of you have, you were talking about frames. So these frames are, this time in animation is divided into some units which are called as the frames. Each image is called as a frame. Okay, and default for Blender, it is like around 24 frames for every second. So just think of 24 images of with different actions, different transformations played in 1 second, right? So that's how this thing is, right? Now I would like to take you through some of the basics concepts quickly. We are not going to spend much time on to this. So there are different types of animation. The initial one is called as cell animation, or you can call it as a traditional animation, or classical animation, or cell animation, or most commonly known as a hand-drawn animation. Okay, this is an animation technique where each frame is drawn by hand. Okay, the cell is nothing but a transparent sheet. I will show you in the next picture. The cell is, this is a transparent sheet, okay, used for creating the characters or drawings, and this has been painted with some artwork used for animation. So here you can see that an artist is trying to draw the characters. Now, if you carefully look at this picture, this background is set. Only this transparent sheet you can change your characters and you can draw these animations. So the very known example that Mickey Mouse is nothing but a cell animation. So all Disney's earlier animations were all hand-drawn animations. So for 1 second of animation, 24 or 25 or 30 of such drawings were made. Okay. Now, in contrast to this, we have a computer animation. So you already know it. Most of you already said it, that how the current technology has been used for making these things more automatic. Right? So we have a lot of different technologies, but always remember the initial part of sketching and these are important in a different ways. Okay? Yeah, like we have seen these different movies. Okay. So quickly, I would like to tell you that in the first Iris movie, it is mixture of live action plus animation. So we had the surroundings of the real shoot, real videos, and this character is animated within that. It's a combination of this. In the Chronicles of Narnia, this lion and some other animals were computer generated characters, and this is again like combination of both. Okay. In the Smurf also, the maximum Smurf characters are animated, and motion capture, VFX, all these things have been used. Same with the Avengers, same with Avatar, and same with so it's not same with Mickey Mouse. Mickey Mouse was entirely cell animation. Now, this was just, I tried to give you a broader idea of what is animation and what is animation development process. So before we can conclude, I have some part where I would really like to talk about Blender. So next sometime I would be spending on Blender. So let me check. Okay, there are surfaces. So just I'm checking if there are some posts or questions I'm missing. Okay, so the other queries of yours will be definitely addressed during the course, and the organizers will coordinate with you for facilitating the links and everything. Okay. Okay, so what is Blender? So Blender is a 3D open source free animation creation suite or a tool or a software, and it is majorly available for most of the operating systems. Okay, you can use it on Windows, Mac, Linux, everything. Most commonly, you can use it for modeling, animation, shading, render, composite, interactive. So these terminologies, I would say it's really important that you will be having 1 month of self-exploration, as well as we will facilitate you with your doubts and everything. So it's a good time for all of you to really make use of this time. So what I will first do is, so I'll take you to, so blender.org is the website for Blender. So if you enter over here, like every other website, you will be able to see the latest version of the Blender. We are not going to use it in the initial time. We will be using 2.8. I mean, rather you will be using, okay? You can download it over here. Otherwise, if you go to download option, there are different tabs you can see, okay? You will get all these instructions on the platform, okay, the course platform. Here you can simply try downloading specific version. So initially we would be working on 2.83, and you can download from here. Okay, these are the releases. You can share the specific link with you. Now, if I go to the home page, if you just keep on scroll down, you will get most of the information about what is Blender, how you can participate, what are different blogs available, and this is something that you know what is new into the Blender, what are the render engine, what is modeling, how you can develop VFX, animation and rigging, okay, 2D and 3D. Just remember one thing: don't try to jump in and try to do everything in the first go. Okay, we have very carefully tried to design the week-wise structure so that if you follow that structure, the efforts will be optimum. Okay? Now, like I was telling you, there are different features and different outputs that can be achieved using the Blender. So here, if you can see, rendering, modeling, sculpting, rigging, VFX, simulations, video editing is possible, and you have very customizable interface. So if you click on rendering, you will get to understand the different concepts related to rendering. Definitely nothing is going to get covered in one go. Okay, so you have to be very careful with that. And let me just check with the requirements. Just give me a moment. Here, you could see that before you can download and install, there are two versions. One is directly executable file and one is installation file. You can check upon which one you want to download. Okay. Hardware requirements are really important. You need to have at least 4 GB RAM. Okay. 1 GB graphics card, having OpenGL. So these are the requirements already have been shared with you, and you can always check up on this website. If there are any queries, we can help you with that. There are a lot of demo files available. Eventually or occasionally, we would request you to try and explore and play with that. Okay. So are there any questions popping up? CycleX is coming soon. Sir, I had downloaded 2.93. So those who are saying 1.91 and 1.81, please, those are not, anymore supported. Mostly we will be using 2.83. Okay. So initially, I would recommend, working with 2.8. Fine. So we will inform you about that. No, not on mobile. Not on mobile. Okay, so these all queries we will address in the course platform. Okay, we will not talk much about in the orientation part. Fine. The link is already given. What I will try to show you is a very quick 3D modeling demo I would be showing. Not necessarily I will be explaining the entire part of it. I just want you to watch so that you will be able to understand how easy it is to create some art. So you can see that I have all versions downloaded. So I will try to open, let me check. So there are different ways you can see the interfaces. I have set some interface. This is how your initial interface will look like. What I'll do is, so this is what the default interface you will be able to see. Now, like I was telling you, the Big Buck Bunny movie, the entire thing was developed under this 3D scenario. Okay. So this is a default cube. You can select and work onto it. I'm not going to teach you at the moment. Let us try to, this is a 3D viewport where you will always be working on, and there are this different modes. So if you want to edit something, you have to go to edit mode. You will be able to see different vertices or the edges of the object. Okay. So this entire thing will get covered once we start the course. So let me delete this cube. Let me add a circle. Let me go to edit mode, and what I'll do is I'll simply extrude. So don't get bothered about if you don't understand right now, because I'm just trying to show you a demo. Okay. It's up to us what we try to develop. So see, this is some structure that I have used with some minimal functions. Okay. Now to make it more refined, what I can try, there are different modifiers available. I will try to subdivide this surface. Now you can see that it's more, still there is no smoothness. I can add some smoothness. Okay. Did you see how this thing can be modeled? So don't expect for you to you won't be able to do it in the first go. It will take some time for you to understand. So the important part is the tools that you will be using. Like you will have to know different keyboard shortcuts, then you will have to learn how to use your mouse, navigating in this 3D viewport, what are the different layouts, what are the features, what are the properties, what are the different modes, how to add an object, how to edit it. So this is a camera, how to set the camera, then how to set the lights. So there are so many things needs to be learned. But first try to understand the interface. So we have very well clear, I mean very carefully tried to organize this content. Once you enter into the course platform, you will be able to play around with it. So and we will be having interaction sessions where I would help you in clarifying your doubts and support your ideas. That's where I would play a role. Okay. So this is a simple object. Now this window can be divided into, quad view. Just let me see. Let's Control Q. Okay, so here you can see that the same object can be viewed from different angles. Okay, this is 3D. This is top view. This is front view. This is side view. So this is really important. So don't get bothered. You will eventually learn about this also. So whatever action that you will be working over here will get reflected in other part, and you will be able to. I can scale it down. I can change the shape. Okay, right. Now let me try to create something else. I will add a cube. Okay. We'll scale it down on a Z. So I would try to create a simple table out of it. So rather, I'll prefer going to and Control Z. Okay. Try to select faces. Try to extrude. So this is very fundamental shapes that we are trying to create. Okay. And it will require a lot of practice for everyone. If I simply select these parts, these faces, so here you can create a chair also. So this is just for demonstration purpose. Don't expect that we will be having this demonstration at this moment. Somebody is. Yeah. So this is what I wanted to show you, and thank you so much for listening to me, and I really wish a happy learning to everyone. Professor Thamba, so I have had this introductory part. Let me know if there is anything else we need to talk to them, to the students. I cannot hear you. Yes, yes, you're audible. Okay, okay, sure. So yeah, those who want, I cannot take more question at this moment because we will be having the interaction session. But for the introductory part, if there are any questions from your side or some doubts that you have, please go ahead and ask. Yeah, you can post in chat box. That would be better. So I'm referring to the Google Meet chat box, and then I can move it to the YouTube chat box if there is.
We post YouTube chat in Google Meet also. See.
Okay, fine. Thank you. Sir, should we need graphics tablet for drawing? So if you're creating something like that, it is okay. But for this course, you don't need to have graphics tablet. We don't need to have. Is Blender 2.79 for this 1 month? Blender 2.79, if you're already using it, it's okay, but we would be trying to go with 2.83 version. Yeah. Animation will edit to interesting car movies. Okay. This is not for mobile. Okay, so I would say that you can borrow it from your friend or a brother or sister. I mean, someone. I mean, I'm really. I cannot comment on that at the moment. Basic. Will all the basic creation of objects and keywords will be taught. So these all contents are covered, and we will be providing with you the resources for that. Yes, mostly video resources will be there. Yes. You can use 2.93, but not initially. I mean, it's up to you, but we would emphasize on you using 2.83 initially. Minimum requirement for download Blender. It's all given on the course platform. You need to have 4 GB RAM and whatever the current standard computer configuration that will work. How to download Blender? We will provide this instruction in the course itself. Mobile you cannot use. It is so you just have to check your software. Your laptop's configuration if it is not working. So 2 GB RAM, you can just try to download and play around with it. We can check upon that also. It will work, but it will not give you the better outcomes. So those who are asking for mobile, this is not for mobile. Okay, the animated movie. So we will answer this question later on. Graphic for card for initial thing we don't need to have. Okay. So any recent laptop with recent configurations will work. Recent means like 3-4 years at least, or 5 years won't be an issue. Okay, so most of you are asking how to download Blender. So what I'll do is so I've shared the download link here. You can check it out. 2.8 will work. Yes. Timings and the organizers will share with you. i5 will work. Yes. I think yeah. So these are most common basic queries, and we can address this in the sessions or the course itself. Yes, Professor Thamba, is that good? Okay. Okay. Thank you so much for listening to me. So participants, if this presentation or this interaction was useful to you, you can tell me in the chat box if you like the session or not. Your feedback is really important for us to coordinate the further instructions for you. Okay. Yes, you liked it. Useful. So we can use, okay. Somebody's asking if you have completed Blender Guru's toner tutorial long back. So in fact, I happen to had an interaction with Blender Guru. He's long back. Useful. It was useful. You gained me more knowledge about Blender. It was useful and more than expectations. Okay. Okay, so thank you so much, and I would really appreciate your participation in the course because it's going to be a 1 month course, and you have really good time for self-exploration, a lot of tutorials. So we will be trying to provide you some part of whatever available, right? But we would expect you to come back to us by telling us more about your experience as well as more participation in the creation. Okay. So thank you so much, everyone,
Thank you, sir.
and happy learning.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you is the best prayer that everyone could say. It expresses extreme gratitude, humility, understanding. Now I would like to call upon R. Nitish Kumar of first year CSE department to deliver the vote of thanks.
Good morning to everyone. It gives an immense pleasure to deliver the vote of thanks to all of you assembled here. First, I would like to thank our honorable chief guest, Dr. Kapil Kadam, who honored this function with his presence. And next, I would like to thank our honorable director, Dr. S. Anmugavel sir, and principal of our college institution, Dr. K. Kadidasam Murugavel sir, for giving us this opportunity. I also thank our head of the Department of Science and Humanities, Dr. M. A. Neelakandan sir, for motivating us conducting the program Basic 3D Animation using Blender. I would also like to thank coordinates, event in charges, faculty members for this above collaborative work to make this event successful. And I also thank all the school students who are going to actively participate in this program. I thank all the technicians for being highly supportive. Finally, I thank you all giving me this opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you, Nitish Kumar. Thank you, everyone, for this wonderful opportunity.